music off. Ah, there we go. Hello.
Good evening.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick off the music, and then Australia, are you gonna head out immediately, or are you gonna? Sorry, it's weird. I used to just everyone's saying right.
I could stay to about what's it called, about 8.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna still be here for a second, why is your lowest stat your lowest stat?
Oh, that's a good one. Why is strength the lowest stats? I guess she hasn't really been needing to like fight many struggles, and she has been better at talking her way out.
Bye, Jockey.
Just realized someone made a Debbie music channel, so we don't it doesn't fill it.
I made that channel. I was like, because I saw it like in Helgen, and I was like, yeah, why not make that to be like, yeah, so we don't get like spammed.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do that, but with YouTube, it didn't used to spam us so much. There we go. So, yeah, sorry, did you actually, were you done there?
Yep, think I'm done.
Also, Elias, why is your lowest stat your lowest?
Strength, because being a rogue and what he's had to do, he's never really had to do anything strongman stuff. He just had to be a slippery little bastard, which is why his dex is as high as score instead.
Yeah, who needs strength when you're joining a party with Jerry in it?
Honestly.
Yeah, until the entire party needs to make a strength save and only one passes.
Yeah, but figure that.
Well, I mean, on the opposite end of that coin, Jerry, why is your lowest yours?
My lowest is dexterity. Jerry went on a different round than the common mouse folk. He decided that the normal ways of training are not enough to keep his people safe. So he went with a different kind of training, the one that required strength over dexterity.
To the montage of Jerry's childhood. Just everyone running and Jerry in the background lifting weights.
I can just see him like punching on a tree or something.
Punching through a tree.
Yeah, through it. Yeah.
Everyone else is just digging holes. What about June?
Well, June's the stat is strength. Yeah. So more than likely, she, from a young age, a bit malnourished. So she always grew up to be a little bit more frail than the average person. I think that's the more. Yeah, that's probably the reason for it.
Yeah, definitely come a long way from frail at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we'll see with the new jutsu. But Sakura, what about you?
Sakura's lowest one is also strength. I guess because she just never needed to train it for any reason. Probably just not a focus on strength. You know.
Yeah, she got nerd strength in the brain.
Also, the pen is mightier than the sword. Intelligence stuff. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, especially when you can throw it telekinetically into someone's eyeball. It's
Yeah. That she's not got any murderous intent at all.
Yeah, I'm willing to put this quote to a test.
She's not a murderer. No.
Really disintegrating
Again,
you.
likewise, I can picture your backstory where it's like Jock coming up to to tease Sakura, and meanwhile because she's reading a book, but it's like how to disintegrate your enemies.
To disintegrate your enemies in 5 easy steps.
For dummies. Do you remember those like for dummies books like I don't know if anyone remembers those.
The 4 dummy books,
Yeah,
yeah.
They were like yellow, and
Yeah.
it's just there are many just like how to whatever for dummies. Yeah, how to disintegrate your enemies for dummies. Yeah, reading it at the age of 3.
How about that?
Seto's dumb strat. It's charisma. I think it's mostly because he was an outcast, pretty much. Even in the village where he lived, even though he got along with everybody, he wasn't that social. So he he has that aura, but it's kind of mysterious, and his charisma is not really showing as much as
So
you
an
might would want.
introvert.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, makes plenty of sense with your upbringing as well. And with that, I think we'll jump into tonight's session. As last time, you guys, you I don't remember exactly where we started, but the main portion of the session was going to go try and mess with all of the suitors that were making their way to try and win Lady Sumihime's hand in marriage. You guys arrived at the tea shop across the road from where all that would be happening and made some plans. Sakura having a little competition with the tea maker himself and winning by a landslide, I think, as tea maker thought maybe it was a bit of a biased audience, but either way, you guys had a nice little relaxing stop at the tea shop before heading into the estate under various disguises, some of you transforming into items for June to wear as she made her way in, and made her way through into the kitchens, slipping past all of the guards, and yeah, through a whole bunch of wild shenanigans. You got the chef fired for sure for flashing. Well, basically for flashing you, even though it was entirely Elias pulling the
Definitely
strings.
getting again put on a list somewhere.
Yeah, after which you drugged some of the suitors, making some of them lose their minds, starting fights. One of them got knocked out as only one of them seemed to actually be holding his shit together. But the Unicorn Clan guys got rejected for sure, having messed up through all of your shenanigans. The Phoenix Clan eventually approached and asked where the bitch was and really put his foot in it, so was also rejected. There another one? I mean, there was the
No,
Scorpion.
he was the last one. Then there was the Scorpion guy, who was the most interesting.
Yeah, so this guy in his green armor, in armor of a champion from the Scorpion clan, you weren't quite sure where he was from before. Tried to poison him, that didn't seem to work. Tried to fuse his box to the floor, which did seem to stop him from offering the right gifts. But when he went in to see Sumihime, he closed the door behind him so that anyone invisible, like a lot of you were, wouldn't be able to overhear what they were talking about. Though you did have an eye on the situation, you saw him and Sumihime having quite a friendly discussion. It seemed like he was barely there to offer his hand at all. It seemed like he was trying to discuss something else with her, showing her a mask of Tiamat that was very similar to the red masks that you guys got from her a while ago. Except his was green, I think. Green? Yeah.
Yes, it was green.
And yeah, basically, other than that, he then made his way after speaking with her, he made his way into the kitchen to speak with you guys, seemingly having realized that you were messing with the proceedings of the day, but didn't seem to be all that angry about it. Seemed kind of impressed, if anything, and seemed like he may want to work together with you on something in the future. You, at this point, you may have gotten the impression that him and Sumihime may be part of the same little behind-the-scenes organizations, and all of this noble crap is not really up their alley. But after ensuring that Daichi would have the best chance with her, not having seen him, you guys all made your way out back across the road to meet up with Jerry and Sakura at the tea shop, where we will rejoin you all now as you enjoy a nice cup of tea and you can see eventually those other samurai filter out as well in shame.
Just watching them walk out. Just, what do you think happened with them?
You all of us already here sitting. So I might have missed it.
Oh, yeah, how did? Oh yeah,
All back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Seto and I dimension boards like an alley somewhere. I remember.
Yeah,
We might be
yeah.
fast forwarding a little bit, but say you all reconvene at the tea shop.
Cool.
Oh, come on,
I wish I
London
was
map
here to
is-
see. I wish I was here to see what happened with all those suitors. Seems this has been quite eventful.
That was very fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
what were you up to?
So
Really enjoy it.
Z was yeah, very very nicely done. As I imagine they basically Sakura, Z, and Jerry have, with Sakura's tea and some of Z and Jerry's magic, you guys would probably have been keeping an eye on this, just in some tea leaves, like watching all some of this unfold in a teacup. But yeah, it's up to you, obviously, what you were actually doing in that time. But I feel like uh, you have all gotten the message that that went swimmingly well, and no one has successfully gotten Sumihime's hand.
You know, I kind of feel
Well,
bad for his clans. They currently look very, very bad.
Should we head to training?
Didn't we have to meet up with Daichi at some point?
I think today we're meant to meet with Tenjiro.
Ah. Well, we better get moving. It's still early morning, right?
No, it is mid-afternoon by this point. It's actually about 20 to 4. But as you are sitting here, you will see across the way Daichi start to make his way down the road and straighten himself up before he turns in to go and see Sumihime, as everyone else is left in shame, and he takes this opportunity to go and say his own piece.
Hmm.
And there he goes. Chances that those suitors are going to try to sabotage him.
You think?
I mean, if we were told to sabotage them, what are the chances that they were trying to sabotage each other, but we were the only ones that were successful in sabotaging them? Think about it like that.
You know, from my perspective at least, maybe the Blue Dragon clan is a bit more dishonorable than others.
This
He will
whole
come
honest
up and say,
system
well,
is just a... Oh, sorry.
he will just comment that, I mean, Daichi is banned by the shogun from actually marrying her, so he's got some balls walking in there.
Unlike Daichi, I actually am fond of Tenjiro, so I don't think we should keep him waiting. Should we go?
Let's get going. Bum, 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 bum.
DM, the two mouse folk. Oh, actually, hair. Yeah, hair. So, are they watching us?
They seem to be in conversation. They will glance up at you as you're all leaving the tea house, but they just seem to be walking along, taking in the sights of the city. So, yeah, they do look quite serious, like they may have just come from training themselves.
I'll just be on the lookout to see if they're following us.
When they see you, they'll both definitely turn their heads to look at you, just yeah, watching you quite closely as you see them muttering something to each other, but you just see little noses twitching, and they seem to be looking at you with some malice.
Yeah, I'll just keep walking.
Z will ask as you walk past, those guys trying to start some shit with you or something, Jerry?
Nothing you should be worried about.
If you say so. I mean, I don't think I have to worry about you much. Sakura and Seto, are you guys doing something there at the tea shop?
I've been having trouble loading in, but I just loaded. So might be
She
trying.
does want to just say goodbye to the tea owner before they leave, and thank him for doing the competition with her.
Yeah, he will thank you for coming, and believe that you are welcome back anytime. And remember his offer. He has basically offered that you can come and work there if ever the samurai life gets too much for you.
Awesome.
Are we going to
And
the dojo, right?
I believe
if
so.
you want to meet up with Tenshiro, then yes. It may still be dark.
Are you
Oh,
changing
quiet.
maps by any chance?
Sorry. Once. I did it for the stream.
Yeah, there might be a problem because I can't switch back to the dojo map. I just moved it to the.
I'll switch everyone back.
Okay.
Give me a chance to actually fix the lighting in it. Yeah, everyone make your way through the doorway.
I don't have token.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably already went through then.
Hmm.
I think it was just Seto and Estrella still. Oh. You should all be there now.
I'm here.
And June, you missed that last time, but this is the sushi restaurant that everyone ate at last night,
Okay.
and is owned by the sister of the guy that ran the ramen shop.
give them a small wave as I pass them.